Hey, welcome back. We're developing this level and we're ready to move into the next room. And we have a couple of archways here, and I'd like to reuse some of our work. So why don't we go ahead and get started? So I'm going to take this big piece that's grouped together and make a copy of it. I'm going to first hit rotation mode and rotate by 90. Looks like I don't have snapping on, so I'm going to actually undo that, turn on snapping, and rotate it. Now with snapping enabled, I'm going to bring it over and just kind of snap it down to the floor. Make sure it's right at the right spot. And then I'll bring it over to where it should be. Looks like I didn't snap it to the floor, so I'm going to go ahead and just bring it on down to the floor. So that looks relatively good. And then I can center it based on our super grid here. As soon as I find my cursor, there it is, and I can center it. And finally, I need it to be centered correctly according to the geometry. So I'll bring it to the edge just like that. That's okay if it's not perfect. I think that is going to work just fine. Now this is a pretty tall wall and I don't really feel like it needs to be that tall. So I'm going to right click on this and ungroup it. So go to groups, ungroup, and I'm going to select a bunch of these. I think we can delete most of these bricks. Probably layer by layer until I decide that I'm happy with it. So I know I don't want these layers, so I'm going to go ahead and take the top few layers and just start deleting these. In fact, I think I'm good with deleting all but maybe the arches and the bricks directly on the arches. So let's go ahead and see how that looks. Now if we're here in the level, let's click play from here. Yeah, I think that's going to work just fine. I think that looks more like it's supposed to be there. Now I'm going to take these and regroup them. So I'm going to select each of these bricks, including the arches. I'm just going to duplicate these and bring them over. And I'm going to go up to the geometry and make sure I'm centered. And it looks pretty well centered. Actually, from this side, it's not. That looks great. Okay, so if I come in here and right click and play from here, now it's going to look like some arches. So that I think is going to work just fine. And now we have some different side little aisles here, and we can have things there that you can't see when you're in the middle, and we can have enemies walking into and out of those archways. So that's going to look great. Okay, so I think that is going to conclude this video. In the next video, we're going to get this staircase in place and probably work on these other staircases as well so that we can work on wrapping up this video, and then we can start putting some enemies, some weapons, and some pickups in the level so that we can play test this and see how it feels. Okay, I'll see you in the next video.